I haven't talked any about the Royal Rumble, and I am here with the shocking revelation. My people. Everybody ready? You guys ready for it? I liked Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble. All week, I've been watching people slander, upset, throwing their things out the window, throwing books, being angry, slandering Jey Uso. I'm like, I liked it. I'll give you guys, I'll tell you guys why. I've seen a lot of people being like, I'll say the only other one I would have liked is CM Punk, and that's because he's never won a Royal Rumble. Everybody else has been like, I wish this person would have won a Royal Rumble. That's already won a Royal Rumble. I wish John Cena would have won a Royal Rumble. Who's already won 2 Royal Rumbles? I wish Roman, like all these people have already won Royal Rumbles. And the thing that I started to hate the Royal Rumble for so many years is that WWE just turned it into an accolade. It wasn't to get the guy over. It wasn't to get the woman over. It was just like, here's an accolade so you can say that you won this. It's not like to further the story. I feel like this is finally them furthering a story. I know that how people feel about Jey Uso. Maybe Jey Uso specifically as a wrestler is not what I like about it. I just like what it represents and what he represents. Like it's a new, refreshing person, somebody we weren't expecting to win, someone that's super over, kind of what the Royal Rumble used to represent. Like he's gonna go on, have this match, and you know the journey into WrestleMania is gonna be a big deal. People are gonna be insanely over and into him by the time he gets to Royal Rumble. I do understand people's reservations. The matches that he's had with Gunther haven't been the best. He has one of the worst spears in wrestling. Like there's a lot of things. I think back to that match with Jimmy at WrestleMania. I'm like, if he's given the ball, I don't know what's going to happen, what's it going to lead to, but I do like what that represented as in this is a new thing. This feels different. And that's also why I hated the women's Royal Rumble match because it was everything that the opposite of what I'm saying here. They're like, we need an accolade for Charlotte. Give her a thing. It's not really representing anything. It's just another thing to add to Charlotte's resume. But as the men's thing, I really did like the Jey Uso thing.
Yeah. Can't say that I was that excited with the outcome for a few reasons, but for all the reasons you're saying, I understood it. And I think like if you're coming out of what the bloodline has been for this company for the past 4 or 5 years, at one point Jay was the main character of this. And so to come out of this and as a byproduct and what this has done for his career, this has made him into a bigger star, objectively a bigger star, objectively one of the most over guys in the company. And when you look at that reasoning, I get it. And if you're gonna go into the Rumble and say the winner should be one of the most popular baby faces in the company or um, one of the most effective heels in the company, I get it. And when you see the reaction to him after he won, just how loud that crowd got, him standing out there with his son, and how cool all of that stuff was. What a great moment for him. Love to see that for him. Your boy had to let us know
You know what I
that
was laughing at?
he was a part of that, of course.
Send him out. Record me saying to send him out.
Yeah, but I think on that level, I think it was really good. I think, like you said, getting somebody new in there and what this represents for Jay, I get it. You have got to give him the win now, though. You
Yes.
cannot do
Yes.
all of this and
Yes.
give him the Royal Rumble win and then go to Mania and he doesn't win. You've also put
Yes.
yourself in a bit of a corner because I don't think that Gunther versus Jey Uso feels like a main event match.
They're
But you're
not man
also
nothing over there.
But you're also making a point of, this is him stepping up and becoming a main eventer. I mean, his name is Main Event Jey Uso, but I don't feel like if for example, if the other two matches are Roman, Rollins, and Punk, and then Cody versus Cena, Jay and Gunther are not main eventing
You are
over those
number
two matches.
3 to those 2 matches for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think a lot of things about this are great. We got the discourse around this, which, Boydie, when I tell you, the discourse to me has been far more annoying
That's a fact.
than anything about this because I was sitting there like, oh, it's Jay. Okay, well, I personally am not as thrilled with that as most people, but hey, good for him.
Yeah.
But then people turning this into the internet is liars. Don't trust the internet. All of those people are just miserable complainers. And I was just like, guys, we don't have to do this. And
We don't have to do
making a
this.
point of trying to respond to the fact that people were reporting that it was very divided, the amount of dislikes on the videos of him winning, and people turning this into, well, that doesn't matter. Look how over he is at the show. The internet does this thing, and I hate it every time they do it. It's so annoying to me. You'll point out something like this of like, this guy's getting a lot of dislikes in a video. And then people will argue something that people are not actually saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It'll be like,
Yep.
oh, well, see, the internet's wrong because look how over he is. Look
The
how,
Death
how
Riders.
yeah, look how much fans want to see him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody's arguing that this guy's not over. I think
Right.
everybody that watches this thing and has eyes and ears can see this guy is over. But when you come out of what I thought was a pretty underwhelming match with Gunther at Saturday Night Main Event a week
Mhm.
before this, I can see why people are like Jay. And then also, like you said, the WrestleMania match, some of the other stuff coming out of WrestleMania where they've given him title shots. He had the match with Damian Priest. He's had big matches with other people, and none of those matches outside of maybe the match with Seth Rollins and Roman really blew me away. And so I can see people not being that excited about this. But again, the Twitter and the internet always does this thing of, well, what do you mean you don't want to see this? Well, you're out of touch because look how much everybody else wants to see this. It's like, are you really listening to what people are saying? People that are like, I'm not as interested in this or I don't want to see this are not also arguing that he doesn't deserve this or that he's not over. Now,
Yeah.
there may be people on the internet that are going overboard and doing things like saying he's just an entrance or just a catchphrase. And of
Yeah.
course, those people are wrong. But again, the internet always does this thing where they'll take like a microcosm of what's being said and they'll argue to that point and not the people that have a valid reason for not caring about this.
Forget your valid reason. That was the most valid reason to me of we just saw this match like a week ago on Saturday Night Main Event, and it didn't set the world on fire. That match wasn't over, and people were like, damn, need to see this again. It was like, okay, like that was a match for what's next for these two guys was what happened after it. And so they were trying to story tell and lead it to this is gonna lead to Jey Uso getting the big thing. But I did understand people's reservation out for that of like, well, I've been pretty underwhelmed by most things that he's done as a single star. So why is he in this position? I'm thinking more like people, they're getting too deep with it. I'm like, you guys know you're watching WWE and they're like, oh, he doesn't blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all the things you're saying they don't matter for WWE superstars, dude. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The discourse around it, I thought got worse and worse throughout the week. We initially got the whole, well, guys, the internet doesn't matter.
Why do they keep saying that?
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure the internet doesn't matter? When they had I Show Speed in this Rumble, a guy that is famous from the internet, and then they went on to tout his 300 million views from the internet. You sure the internet doesn't matter? Kai Cenat there, all these people there from the internet, they're taking things from the internet like reaction videos and now using it as a part of their promotion, put it on their TV show. But you sure the internet don't matter now?
Michael Cole's referencing the internet on Raw every fucking Monday. Like I don't know why people say that. We all know the credit boy himself, Triple H, is watching and listening and telling you that he's watching and listening. So what do you like? Why does it only half of the time like, oh no, not for this though? Like, what do you mean not for this? I think he's watching everything, right?
The internet matters when we want it to matter.
Right.
WWE being whatever a top 10, top 15 YouTube account in terms of the amount of followers that they have, like in the millions. And now it's just like all these people that dislike that, they're wrong. Or you just disagree with them. It's fine.
It's been so funny them being divided. I'm like, wait, you guys are all supposed to be the same thing. Like I thought this was, yeah, them jumping on the one fact of because like exactly like the Death Riders thing of like I don't the internet and blah 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 blah. What about the ratings though? They go up and the fans are cheering. I'm like, but that's not really. It's not what I'm saying though. Like, of course they're gonna
Again,
cheer fucking Adam Copeland and Moxley. Of course, Jey Uso is so over, dude. That's like separate from the point. And
impossibly over.
everybody that was like, oh, I didn't really like this. They're all saying, but Jey Uso is so over. That's the thing.
And we all know that. That's why I'm like, nobody is arguing that the guy is not popular or that he may not deserve this. And even the people that are arguing that he doesn't deserve it. So what? Why are you arguing with those people? Because my thing when I say that, because there's two different things people mean when they say the internet doesn't matter. When I say the internet doesn't matter, sometimes I don't mean that what's going on the internet doesn't matter. What the conversations on the internet don't matter. I mean, why are you arguing with some faceless guy on the internet because you like something and they didn't? That stuff doesn't matter. But when people then act like, oh, the people that go to the shows matter more than the internet. Hey, last year when they had to change what they were doing after Royal Rumble, you remember why they had to do that? Because there was a big hashtag on the internet that translated to their live shows.
Yep.
So you can't then go, hey, well, if you don't pay to go to shows, then your opinion don't matter. What?
So why do they keep touting all their millions of followers on all these social media platforms? Is what I'm like. If none of this mattered, they'd be like, we don't care about YouTube, we don't care about Twitter, we don't care about Instagram, we don't care about those numbers if this didn't matter.
Yeah. The other thing, of course,
don't watch Speed on the show of social media because you guys don't matter.
Right. The other thing I saw, people were sharing that Dave LaGreca clip of Dave saying 5-star matches don't matter. He connects with that fan base. The audience loves this guy. That's what matters. You can have great matches, but some people that have great matches will never get what he got on the Monday Night Raw after Rumble. I hate it. I hate it. I hate because two things can be true, man. Yep. And I just hate when we do this every time and it turns into, hey, this is why matches don't matter. Matches do matter, man. That's like, stop it. I cannot stand it.
Because the biggest thing is if he was having fucking amazing matches, if he set the world on fire with that Gunther match, all this discourse would be way different.
Yes. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Two things can be true of, hey, making a connection with the audience and that crowd loving him in the way that they do, that is a once in a lifetime thing. Some people go their entire career and don't get this kind of connection with audience. That is absolutely true. But then when you turn it into all you people that care about matches and you guys that care about cage match ratings and all those things, like why? I just don't understand why we have to do this every time. A story and character is more important than wrestling. Like the wrestling, it should accentuate the wrestling. At the end of the day, it's supposed to get to the match. All of this stuff is to get to the match.
I always wonder why I'm getting called dumb in this. I'm like, damn, that was okay. And they're like, you idiots with your 5-star matches, and you like the. I'm like, why? What does that have to do with what's happening here? Always got to catch a damn stray. It's ridiculous. Like, no, again, it's WWE. It's Jey Uso. Like, we know it's not about 5-star match. We know it's about so much more. But don't try to act like that's the reason why. Oh, these doesn't matter when Gunther is about 5-star matches, when the other wrestlers in this company that are about that shit. So what are you saying?
Yeah. I mean, I think it helps to build the story of this match. Gunther being a straightforward wrestler and him being very much like, hey, cool, you're over. You come out and you do all of this stuff. You do the yeet chants. They come out and dance with you. Everybody's having a good time. But when that bell rings, you cannot lace my boots. Mm-hmm. I love the story about that because it's a very simple story of somebody that's very popular that the people want to see in this position against a guy that's there because I'm just really good at wrestling. It's a very easy story to tell.
And it's amazing because Gunther's saying a lot of things that right back to it, Phil. People are saying on the internet. Crazy. Feeding it right back to them. Hey, here's a bunch of things that people are saying about you on the internet, but the internet don't matter, though.
Yeah, but I'm now going to using a promo. I thought the stuff on Monday was really good. Him coming out and doing the entrance twice. Really, really cool. Very emotional promo for Jey. And then Gunther comes out. It's like, hey, man, I wouldn't do that. You want to wrestle me again? You saw how this went.
Yeah, I dragged you.
And he did this. He's been doing this a few times in his promos now, where he kind of breaks the fourth wall a little bit, and he said, "Yeah, we're supposed to do this thing in wrestling where I come out here and I make my opponent look better because I'm supposed to make it seem like I am in fear of losing this belt. I refuse to do that this time. I refuse to act like you are a threat to me. You are not a threat to me. If you choose me, you're going to be in hell for the next few weeks." I was like, man, I love Gunther, man.
Yeah. It's like a real promo of like, we could come out here, do all the pageantry and do all that, but I'm not doing that. Like, if you pick me, I'm gonna kill you. Essentially, that's like a real ass promo. And Jey kind of being shaken in his boots, being like, "Well, I didn't say I was gonna pick you anyways. I need to go talk to Cody first." I'm like, "Yeah, no." Gunther put the fear in his ass.
Well, he did though. He said in the press conference that he's gonna pick Gunther. So it feels like a formality at this point. The story is him versus Gunther. I get that there's a bit of a story to him versus Cody as well. Mm-hmm. Cody is showing certain signs of him being a bit heelish coming out of the feud with Kevin Owens that I've seen people pick up on. But I still think if you're going to do somebody as over as Jey Uso, you've got to put him against a pure heel, not somebody that's got shades of gray. You don't want to divide your audience. You want that crowd to be universally behind Jey.
100% everybody in the crowd is here to see Jey Uso win that championship, and that's only going to happen against Gunther, because if he's against Cody, people are going to cheer for Cody. For sure. No matter what Cody's doing.